People. Alrighty, we are live. Welcome everyone to this webinar. We are stoked to have you guys here tonight. I know it's very late where you are. I'm currently talking to you from New Zealand at my house, so it is 11 p.m. here. But we do plenty of these webinars very late evening because we work with so many athletes from around the world and also partners, etc. For those that don't know me, my name is Amrit Rai. I'm the owner of Platform Sports. I've been doing this for about 10 years. And you'll probably seen Joseph walking around. You've probably spoken to him. He's an awesome resource for a lot of you that are interested in going through the college process. This webinar, we kind of talked about it. We thought, well, should we make it a bit more casual and just I can ask you questions, Joseph? But we decided to take you through a bit more of a detailed presentation. Now, this is being recorded. So if you forget anything, do not panic. I will send you the recorded version and you can watch it in your own time. Now, last time I did a webinar on this software was last week with our rowing recruiter, Paparangi Hapango. And Paparangi was a national champion at Cal Berkeley. And the internet cut out. So touch wood that nothing like that happens. Now, you'll see on the right-hand side, there's a little box saying chat. If you got any questions at any time, pop them in there and we will get back to you during this webinar as well. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But before we get stuck in, Joseph, quick introduction, please, for people that don't know you.
So I'm Joe McInnes from Scotland originally, currently playing State League One here in Perth for UWA. So hopefully no booze in the chat when I say that. I spent the last 4.5 years in the US on a soccer scholarship, attended 3 different schools, 3 different levels, and I also played USL 2, which is a semi-pro summer league, and made it to the national final last year and lost, but we don't talk about that. So that's a little bit about me soccer-wise and where I've been about.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. And I mean, everyone in our team has got a why they do this. And I think it's important you guys know mine. So I never went to America. I grew up in a tennis family. I was born and raised in a small town in New Zealand called New Plymouth, known for its surfing, golf, tennis, all other skiing sports as well. We had a mountain like 20 minutes from my house that you could go skiing and snowboarding on. But no one in my region went to college. We were 4.5 hours away from the nearest biggest city. Tennis was our sport growing up. My dad always wanted to be a pro tennis player, but never had the opportunity or the resources to take it further. And so when I was born, I'm the eldest of 3 children. My dad said, right, you're up. We're going to make you a pro tennis player. So I really tried. And when I was 18, I was good in New Zealand, but I wasn't like professionally good playing in Grand Slams like some of the other boys. So I ended up going to university in Wellington. My brother ended up he kept on playing tennis. He's New Zealand's #1 now, so he's 6 years younger than me. He's done very well, and I saw a lot of my mates in college, and I was like, wait, what? Like, how did these athletes get scholarships in the US? I started asking them questions. I said, how did you get these deals? How do these opportunities come about? How much are you paying? And they said, we're not paying anything. I was like, what do you mean you're not paying anything? He said, well, our tuition, our tennis expenses, our accommodation, all of our food are paid for. We travel all around the States. We play there for 10 years. 10 years, 10 months. It's been a long day. 10 months. And we do that for 4 years. So 40 months is a college career. And after that, we've got a job that we didn't really have to pay for to get the degree. And I thought, well, that's amazing. So it made me angry, but motivated. Angry because I'd beat some of these guys. And I was like, I wish I could have gone, but it made me motivated to build something I would have liked to have used. So I was very fortunate to be brought up in a very tight family at a young age. My dad came over from Africa as a refugee in the 70s. He came from Uganda. My mum moved over to New Zealand from India. They got an arranged marriage, cliche. And we were raised in a big house with our aunties, uncles, cousins. I shared a room with my cousin till I was about 8, and then a room with my brother till I was 18 until I went to university. So I wanted a company to reflect my family values, which is being very tight, looking out for each other, being honest, loyalty, etc. And every single one of my team members have got that. That's why I love Joseph working in this company. I mean, he's sitting here at night just trying to educate a lot of people, always trying to give advice. When I first met Joseph, he actually started writing college blogs, no payment, nothing for it, just college blogs to educate people about the system. And that's something that is very rare in people. So I'm really proud of it. We've got an office in Auckland and an office in the Gold Coast. And yeah, been doing this for the last 10 years now and helped over 1,800 kids go to college. We work with 24 different sports. That's just a brief intro to what we do. Now, I'm going to stop yapping about us and now give you guys the information that you guys have came for. So let me see if I can share my screen here, Joseph. Hopefully technology prevails. Joseph, you got
No
to tell me
pressure.
if you can't see this. Can you see this?
Yes. All good.
Thank God. All right. So again, there'll be a QR code at the end if you want to book a meeting with me later on. You can scan that and do it in your own time, but we can do that right at the end. You already know that. Okay, so there's 3 reasons why people go to America. So when you're finishing high school, you got some options, right? You can study in Australia, you can get into trade or work right away, which a lot of my friends did, or you can study abroad. And we look after athletes wanting to go to American universities. And what I found in 10 years is that there's 3 different reasons why people want to do this. They either want to go and get a degree, bachelor's or master's degree. They want to go over for an overseas experience. Maybe they want to go pro. Maybe it's a blend of all. I've got case studies on all of these. I was in my hometown over the weekend because it was King's birthday in New Zealand. I bumped into this lady, Alex Wall, and Alex, I placed her son in college like years ago. He started in 2018. His name's Patrick Wall. He was a tennis player from Wellington, went to Scots College, went to a Division One program, which is one of the higher level programs in the US. And his motivation, whilst he was at a Division One school playing tennis, was academics. His goal was to eventually work on Wall Street, and he wanted to use tennis as a vehicle to finance that and to get him these opportunities and to get him in that environment. So he went to Hofstra University in New York, did very well. And when I bumped into the mum, didn't even know she was in town. She was just there on a holiday at a coffee shop. And she said, Patrick's graduated. He's doing very well. He's actually working on Wall Street now, and he's got a 6-figure salary. And I'm like, he's 22, right? Alex is like, yeah. I'm like, that's crazy. So that's why he wanted to do that, was purely this. Then we've got other athletes that want to do this. One of our boys that I spoke to yesterday, he's graduated. His name's Ronan Wynn. When I signed him, he was in your equivalent of year 10, so his second year into high school. And when we were helping him through the process, A-League clubs were knocking on his door. They wanted to be involved in the academy. So he wanted to go pro, but he thought college might be able to give him more options. So we placed him at University of Denver, and he got drafted into the MLS start of this year. He went to Atlanta FC. So we're actually doing a webinar with him in a couple of weeks. I'll send you guys all that link. But that's the reason why he wanted to go there. Or you want to go for an overseas experience, like one of my boys, Sean Green. He's a box-to-box midfielder. We went to Missouri State, then we transferred him to Winthrop University in South Carolina. And he was great academically, great soccer player. He actually made an appearance on Sports Center for scoring a goal from halfway, which was crazy, in overtime as well, to win the tie for his college, which is very hard to do, as you guys know. And but he just wanted to go for the experience. He wants to be involved in university culture, meet people over there, build connections. And he's graduated school and he's still living there. But overseas experience was his purpose. So you got to try and figure out why you want to go to America. Make sure that you tailor it to what you want. In the college system, there's about 4,000 universities sliced into 3 different sporting organizations. But we're going to break this down a little bit. The NCAA is the biggest sporting organization that governs a majority of the universities in America. They look after 1,200 universities. Now, what determines a university being in Division One or Division Two or Division Three is not the sporting ability or the academic ability. It's purely based on the size of the school. So, for a Division One program to be called like Division One, the university just needs to finance 7 men's sports and 7 women's sports. For Division Two, it's 5 men's sports and 5 women's sports. For Division Three, it's 3 men's sports and 3 women's sports. So Division One schools, because they're bigger, you'll have like students on campus between like 15,000 up to 60,000 students on campus. I spoke to one of my golfers today, Zach Swanwick. He's at University of Florida. Also talking to his dad because he's just finished his freshman year at college. But in the semester break, because it goes August to December, January to May, and then May and August, students normally come home. But he's actually staying in the US to continue playing. because he thinks that the training and the environment is better for his development than coming back here. And he's got accommodation and stuff sorted. So that school's got like 50,000 plus students. So that's a really big Division One program. So Division One schools are just bigger. Division Two schools are still very good, but they've got between maybe 3,000 to 15,000 students on campus. And then Division Three have got less than 5,000 students on campus. Division One and Division Two provide sports scholarships, and the universities do provide academic scholarships as well. Division Three, due to the nature of it being so small, mainly academic scholarships, merit-based scholarships, zero sports scholarships in Division Three. So a lot of people look at this pathway purely from a financial standpoint, because you can go there for 4 years, play your sport, get a scholarship, do well academically, and get a degree without leaving. Now, to back my statement up from what I said earlier, Division 1, 2, and 3 is not based on the sporting ability or the academic ability. It's purely based on the size of the school. John Hopkins, MIT, NYU are world-renowned academic universities. They fall within Division 3. The national champions in Division 2, called University of Charleston, they beat the national champions in Division 1 in men's soccer in a friendly. In New Zealand, our Davis Cup tennis team, if you don't know what Davis Cup is, it's your 4 best tennis players in each country play against other people. So Rafael Nadal will play for Spain, Roger Federer will play for Switzerland, Novak will play for Serbia, so on. So in New Zealand, the 4 people in Davis Cup were my brother, who was ranked top 60 in the world under 18s. He actually has got 1-all match streak against Musetti, if you're watching the French Open, who's in the semi-finals right now. He's an unbelievable player, Musetti. So my brother was in the team. My client, Jack Loutet, who's currently at University of Kentucky, he was in the team. Finn Reynolds was in the team. Finn Reynolds went to Ole Miss. If you don't know what that school is, check it out. Awesome Division 1 program, beautiful campus. And then the 4th spot was a tough one to fill. They had 35 active Division 1 tennis players in the US right now, but the 4th spot went to a Division 2 college tennis player named KP Panu, who went to Columbus State. So there's some very strong programs within each of these divisions. Some people may choose to be at a smaller university in a nice location, and a bigger university in a less nice location. So again, it's all relative. Then you've got the NAIA system. This is a sporting organization that looks after 4-year universities, just like the NCAA do. The reason why they exist is because the NCAA make their money through ticket sales. I mean, these American football stadiums seat like 100,000 people to like 50,000 people. And when they make this money, that goes into the pockets of the NCAA organization, and then they drip feed it to all the universities that they look after. And so if you get a scholarship to go to UCLA, which is Division 1, if you trace the money back, the money belongs to the NCAA. It does not belong to the university. So these guys over here, they set academic criteria for girls and guys that you must meet, such as 16 core subjects from year 9 to year 12, 2.3 GPA amongst your 16 core subjects. And there's a list of approved core subjects and ones that are not approved. And then you've got to go to college in a certain time zone. So when you graduate school, you've got this eligibility clock. If you're a soccer player, you've got 12 months. If you're a tennis player, you've got 6 months. And every sport's a bit different. So it's quite intense. The NAIA came in like 30 years later, because the NCAA were formed in the early 1900s. These were formed in the 1960s. And they were like, well, we're just going to give sports scholarships to universities, and we're not going to say that the students have to do the 16 core subjects. They don't even need a 2.3 out of 4 GPA. They just need a 2.0, and they can come play under our umbrella. So these are for like soccer, tennis, track and field, rugby, rowing, etc. Those sports are Division 1. If you are a basketballer or American footballer, they've got 2 divisions for that. But for soccer, I know a lot of you guys are soccer players, or football, I should say. See, I can't say football, because if I say football, you'll be in America in shoulder pads. I'm going to call it soccer. So if you're a soccer player, you'll be looking at only 1 division in the NAIA system, but they do carry 2 teams, where in the NCAA, they mainly carry just 1 soccer team. So they'll have larger rosters there. Then you've got the junior college system. So it's like a feeder system. Junior college is built for 2 reasons. One, you don't have the sports resume to earn a substantial scholarship in the US. And as a result of that, you want to go to a cheaper university, that's where junior college comes into play. Because these schools over here, like the NCAA and the NAIA, are 4-year universities, right? Like University of Queensland or University of Victoria, whatever. And they cost anywhere from like 50 to 80,000 US a year. Yeah, 1 year. That's how much they cost. So you're banking on a sports scholarship to subsidize a lot of that. So if you don't have an amazing CV that turns heads off college coaches at 4-year schools or doesn't get them to put their hand deep into their pocket to give you a deal for you and your family, you can go to a junior college. And what's really cool about this is that it allows you to keep building your profile. So you go to a junior college for 2 years. It follows the exact same academic schedule as a 4-year school. So Tyler Junior College in Texas is a 2-year community college, and it follows the exact same timeline as UCLA and Stanford. So they start in August, they do their first semester to August to December, they break, and then they go January through to May. And then at the end of May, you come home, or you stay in the US and keep playing in a summer league team if that's what you want to do. The good thing about junior colleges is they don't cost 50 to 80, they cost anywhere from 20 to 35 USD for 1 year, and they've got scholarships as well. And a lot of our athletes are paying under 10 grand for one whole year. That's 10 months covering tuition, accommodation, food, and all sporting expenses. So there's different scholarship allowances for different genders, which I can send you guys all that information. But that might be a reason. The other reason may be you don't meet the academic criteria for the NCAA, and maybe there is a higher level junior college program that is better than an NAIA school at a 4-year program. So again, junior college exists for that reason. And I'll get Joseph to talk a little bit about his experience in a second. But I mentioned Tyler Junior College recently. At Tyler Junior College, Jimmy Butler went there. Joe, before I continue, do you want to talk a little bit about your pathway?
Yeah, 100%. So to give a bit of context, my first 2 years in America were spent at a junior college and then transferred on to an NCAA Division Two school. And my expectation was, NCAA it's better than junior college. But for me, like that wasn't the case. Like I was playing, getting game time, doing all right, but the standard of coaching and level of players just was way below what I expected. But that was despite having great facilities. So and then turned down a full scholarship offer to stay. And then I transferred to an NAIA school for my last 2 years. And the standard of soccer at my NAIA was far better than the NCAA school. So it just goes to show that it's not always as clear cut as it may seem. Like the divisions, although like Division One top schools are obviously going to trump all. With the other divisions, it really does depend on the school, as opposed to comparing, Division Two being better than junior colleges. It's not quite as simple as that.
100%. So this is what I mean. Like everyone's got to look at a 4-year play. So there's so many different ways that you can tackle the college system. Let's just break this down. When you go to America, think to yourself right now, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? And then work backwards. Some of us don't have the resume to go get the school that we want. I think the best analogy is this. Some people have got the money in the bank account to go buy the best house in the best street. Me and my family definitely did not have that. No generational wealth, nothing like that. So if I wanted to eventually buy the best house on the best street, I would need to go and purchase a cheaper house in a much more affordable area. It may not be near a beach or may not be near the best street, but I know that with work over time, I can renovate the house, it can grow in value. And then once it grows in value, I can revalue it and then go get that house down in the best street later on. And that is what the JUCO strategy is. JUCO stands for junior college. Or you could go to a Division Two, an NAIA school in year one and play. Then you can go and transfer to a D1 if you wanted to in year 2, 3, and 4. If that is your ambitions. There's so many different things, and I've seen all these different options over the 4 years of people doing different pathways. We had a centre back, great story. Centre back, his name's Dylan Wood. Now, Dylan was 6'4", good with his left, could play left wing back as well. But man, he just cut strikers down and wingers down. Like his whole highlight tape was just, I wouldn't say hurting people, but he was just shutting people down. And we sat down together in 2016, and I said, mate, like, let's run this back and see what we can get you. We targeted a number of Division One programs and Division Two programs and junior college programs, and just a few NAIAs, but his grades were really good, and we want to focus on the NCAA. That was his personal thing. And he decided to go to Metro State University. Now, if you don't know Metro State, it's in Denver. It's a Division Two school. It's in the RMAC. So each division have got groups of conferences, and then there's a group of like 10 schools that plays within the conference, which prevents colleges flying all over the place. It's normally like around neighboring states or within your state. And his conference was called the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. So he earned first team honors. So that means out of all the schools in his conference, he was the best center back. He also earned all academic honors. So that means that he had the highest performing GPA for his class, which was amazing. And after 2 years, he came back. I remember this conversation to this day, and he goes, I've just come back. I've got off the plane. It's May. It's the second year for me. Before I go back in August, I just really want to have a chat with you. I'm like, sure, let's catch up for a coffee, man. So I met him and his dad, Grant. We sat down, and he goes, look, like, this is my tape. This is all my stats. And he was here, right? So he went Division Two, year one, went to another Division Two school in year two, and was sitting here in between year 2 and 3, right here. And I said, okay, well, why don't we look at transferring you, mate? Because like your value as a player has gone up tremendously with the hard work you've been putting in over the first 2 years with your team. You're captain of your team. You've got all these honors. Like, let's give it a go. Year 3 and year 4, he went to a Division One program. He went to UC Davis, which is University of California, Davis, a top 30 ranked business program, a top soccer program that went to the quarterfinals of the Division One championship, which, by the way, all the games are on ESPN, like I'm meaning Sky TV, so you can watch in Australia on your local channel. And 2 guys in his senior got drafted into the MLS. He earned their right to get it, to be in that position, and I think that's what a lot of people do. Joseph, I mean, what was it? What was it like for you going through this process, man? Like, can you just go over your 4 years again, and what did you think about the level of play?
Yeah, so 100% to echo what you said about, your value going up. Like when I was first going out to the States, I didn't have, a background at a top youth academy. So I ended up going to JUCO, and then from there I felt as though I was able to play, score goals, like you say, earn accolades. And then from there it definitely, rose my status, and it helped me transfer to Division Two, where again then I still managed to score goals, and then everything that followed just kind of fell into place. Like the more games you play in the US and the more you do well, like coaches at different levels definitely take note, and playing summers definitely helps that as well.
And just for context, there's transfer windows for athletes when they're wanting to transfer universities in the NCAA. When the first 24 hours happened for the women's Division One transfer portal, there were 450 girls in the transfer portal that are looking to move colleges. It happens all the time. So, biggest piece of advice: focus on year one. Find out a coach that really likes you. Find a coach that can develop you in your game. Find a coach that you connect well with and that you trust. Find a group of teammates in the US that you can really rely on, that can support you with your personal goals. That if you are wanting to be a pro, that are not going to go out drinking, if you want to be in an academic, that the team have got high GPAs, these are questions you should be asking that college coach. And I'll give you the answers for it. Find that program where you're going to get the best return on investment. I'm not talking money here. Money's obviously important, but I'm not talking money here. I'm talking your time spent there, because you're never going to get those 10 months back again. And I've seen athletes make the wrong decision again and again. And it breaks my heart. And these are not kids that were placed. These are kids that have signed with other organizations or done it themselves, and then are coming to us to try to help them transfer. It's very challenging to do that. So do it right at the get-go. And that's part of our free consultations. We'll tell you point blank where we think you'll be fitting and what kind of pathway based on your personal situation. And we can go from there. But just keep that in mind. Facilities. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the facilities. So this is Arizona State. If you follow golf, Phil Mickelson actually designed those facilities. My friend Tay Hawk is a pro agent for a lot of the A-League players. He literally just lives like 200 meters that way. And he's an alumni here. He played rugby here, actually, out of all sports. And he was sending me videos when he was there about 3 weeks ago. I played golf with him. on the weekend, and he was showing me some of the videos. Then it looks absolutely unbelievable. This is University of Connecticut. I only put this slide in here. This is a Division One game. So many people turn up to it. The only reason why I put this slide in there is because Josh and Mac are two of our full-time people that work with us. They both play Division One college soccer, and they lost to Connecticut, so they don't really know that the slide's in here. I just sneakily put it in to try and throw them a jab because they said that was the loss that hurt them the most. So it's just a bit of banter in the office. But Joseph, what were your facilities like, mate?
Yeah, unbelievable. Especially my last school, I just graduated from NAIA. People think lesser facilities, but the best grass you've ever seen, like professional level grass, and it kind of kills me a bit now. Like playing in Australia, like I love playing football still, but the facilities, like after what I've experienced in the US, like it really is all downhill from there. It's kind of underwhelms me every time I turn up at a ground, which is shocking. But you've been used to like top notch stuff like every day. It makes a difference.
Yeah. So what you're saying is like you've obviously been in Perth for like a little while now, and you're playing at a very high level. Are you saying that there's the facilities, the best facilities that you got in Perth? What would that be like in translation to in the US? I think a lot of parents would want to know that, and athletes too.
Yeah, so I mean, thinking back, like, so the best sort of regional facility here in Perth that players would get access to is Sam Kerr Football Centre, which is a brilliant complex. But honestly, like my Division Two school and other Division Two schools that I played at are much the same as that. So there's
Well,
I don't want to say underwhelming, but like in the US, it's just the facilities are through the roof at every level because schools are just pouring money into their athletics, which is a good thing when you play.
cool, man. The gym. I mean, this is some really like pixelated photo. I don't know what's coming up like that, but every like facility. So every NCAA, NAIA junior college school have got a sports facility on campus where you got like your soccer turf or whatever sport you play. Everything's all set up on campus. And then you've got a gym that only athletes on scholarship get access to. What did you have at college?
So my Division Two school again had the most unbelievable gym. I remember, first day turning up and being shown the regular students gym. I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then the guys were like, oh, wait till you see the athletes gym, and it's just on another level. Just like the pictures, and you do feel special with your card that gives you access to that no one else gets. But yeah, just top notch gym facilities.
That's awesome, man. Did you enjoy the gym? Did you get jacked?
Uh, the gym was a tough one for me. Honestly, when I first went, I had nothing to do with it. But after a few months with the sports performance coaches getting on my back, I got used to it a little bit.
What's a local gym in Perth, like a chain that you've been to? And could you compare that to what you got in the States?
Yeah, so I guess the Revo Fitness is the big chain I go to, and it does suck now having to share a packed gym with everyone, whereas before it was used to being with all your teammates, all the space you needed, a personal trainer in the form of a sports performance coach telling you exactly what you needed to do. So you definitely you get taken care of too well in the US.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. And like your recovery, like you get access to recovery facilities on campus that are within that one big building, which has got like your gym, ice baths, like physio bays, all that sort of stuff. That's all covered within in the scholarship as well. Did you get much of this stuff done?
Not so much at my schools, but when I played USL 2 last summer, we were on campus at a Division 1 school, and yeah, like this, like the bottom picture just exemplifies exactly what it's all about. It's next level stuff, really.
Did you get any like treatment done though when you're at your D2 schools at NAIA? Was there anyone that you could see if you need like strapping done and stuff like that?
We had round the clock physios, at our disposal, and definitely had the ice baths and all that sort of stuff.
But just this is more Division One stuff that you got.
I would say, yeah, the
Yeah.
extra recovery gear and comfy chairs are a Division 1 luxury.
When you were playing USL 2, what Division One pro? What school were you at?
It was at Bradley University in Illinois, sort of
Bradley.
middle of Illinois. Yeah, so it was
No
good.
way.
We
I,
we got some we regularly got kind of 2,000, 3,000 people coming to watch those games, so that was nice.
man, that tennis. I knew the tennis coach there, man, at the time, and was nearly going to sign my tennis player, but I ended up going to Montana instead, University of Montana. But yeah, the Bradley's definitely It's see if Bradley impressed you, bro, that's a small D1.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
That's a small D1. And then coaching is covered by the scholarship as well, whichever sport you play. How was your relationship with the coaches?
Two out of my three schools, brilliant. One, not so good. And I go back, and that's part of the reason I do what I do now. Like, I remember I did my deal all sort of like through email, reaching out to a coach for that. Didn't do my research properly, and then turned up at the school, got picked up with teammates at the airport, and asked them, lads, how's the coach? Small talk, and
Yeah,
they just went silent for like 3 4 seconds, and that was deafening, and that sort of summed up my time with that coach. But that's why I would definitely emphasize that people do the research, and background check always helps.
yeah, nah, for sure, man. I think that's what we do. Like college for us is so small. If I wanted to know anyone in the Summit League conference, for example, I could just literally phone Brad Franks, who used to work for me back in the days, the assistant coach at University of Denver, where Ronan graduated from. We've got a striker there now who's in the NZ under 20s. And coaches talk, man. Like they are always with each other. I got this text message the other day from one of my boys, and he was at an event. This is Ryan. He's a former Division One coach at St. Bonaventure. He played at Canisius. He coached at St. John's in Queens, D1 program as a GK coach. And he was with my buddy Brandon DeNoia. And Brandon came and stayed with me in New Zealand last year. He's the coach at Syracuse for women's soccer. They've got 3 Canadian national team starters in their squad right now. Like,
Wow,
unbelievable, bro. And Syracuse is crazy. Like, their lacrosse team travels in a private jet. Like, that's the higher end of Division One guys.
different levels.
There's different levels to this game. Like I literally, when I was speaking to a client's dad this morning of their kid in college, they were like, "Yeah, some of these teammates are getting 100K NIL deals, which is now you can get a full scholarship, which is great, but now you can get endorsement deals. Like there's been athletes getting offered 150, 500,000 USD to go and play college in the States. NIL means you can get paid based on your name, image, and likeness. So it's just gone absolutely crazy. But yeah, and then also your academic support's covered by the scholarship. You get given tutors provided by the sports department. And also to the athletes, if there's any athletes tuning into this, you're going to have to do 6 hours of mandatory study a week, which is policed by the NCAA or the NAIA. Did you do that, Joseph?
Ours was five, and then funnily enough, I ended up working in the library, and logging hours for other people. So I used to make friends by making sure they got their hours.
That was funny. That is funny, but they do that to put like ensure that athletes are doing well, and also your grades get checked by the college coach every couple of weeks and your class attendance. Like my swimming recruiter, Natasha, she's an All-American at Auburn University, amazing D1 school. And she literally had to sign a form every time she went into class. And then the professor would take that docket and then give it to the coach to show who actually came to class. So something to keep in mind. And then all of your traveling expenses are covered, whether you're in the bus, your flights, all of that stuff is taken care of. Um, University of Florida men's golf team, the guy that I spoke to this morning, they own a private jet, and that's how they travel, which is very cool. But that again, that's at the higher end in Division One. Here's an example of a small D2 school. So that is a very, very, very small Division Two program. Did you ever play against Anderson?
I didn't, but I'm aware of them. Good team.
Yeah. Good luck. We got a tennis player going there. He actually went to junior college and he's just signed with their program. Um, so you guys can kind of see like how Division One's just got a bit more money than Division Two. But again, not all Division One schools are like that. You might see a lot of it on social media. There's some very, very small Division One programs as well that have only got 10 or 12,000 students, which I would rather go to Palm Beach Atlantic, which is a Division Two school on Billionaire Mile in Florida, in a great place like West Palm, where Beckham's son got married up the road. Beckham lives up the road. Whether he's got intercity Miami team and be in that environment, then go to a D1 in like the Iowa in the middle of nowhere. But again, everyone's a bit different in what they're wanting to do. But you can see what kind of bells and whistles that these different colleges have, which is quite cool. What's covered in scholarships? If you get a full scholarship, your accommodation, tuition, meal plan, coaching, equipment, S&C, tutoring, sports clothing, travel, physio, pretty much everything is all covered. Now, if you're a female, there's more chance of you getting a full scholarship, because when a university gets their money, the athletic director cuts it in half. Half goes to men's sports, half goes to women's sports. There's no American football on the women's side, so there's more money to spend. They get 1.5 times the amount of scholarships than the guys do. So a lot of our girls are getting full scholarships. Guys are getting a lot more partial, where they could be spending anywhere from 5,000 USD to 15,000 USD for the first year in America, with the option to increase your scholarship in future years. So the coach can incentivize you as well. But something just to keep in mind, guys. Like I said, I'm very honest and upfront about that. I don't want to hide anything from you guys. We get quite a lot of inquiries of people wanting to come on board, but we are quite selective. We just want to make sure that we truly believe we can come through with what you guys really want. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about why you're wanting to go to the US. Grades. This is what the GPA is, from 0 to 4. So you want to try and get here to like a 3.5, which is very much like an A minus in America to an A. So if you can get a 3.5 GPA, then you can definitely be in the chance of securing an academic scholarship in the US. Now, every university is a bit different. We've got a kid that's going to West Virginia Wesleyan, which is a Division Two school, and with a 3.0, not a 3.5, a 3.0, he can get 14,000 US dollars in academic scholarship annually. Then the golf coach can put the rest on top of that. So every school's a bit different, but if you're sitting around 3.5, you're definitely knocking on the door. And this GPA, they take everything into account from year 9 to year 12. The SAT is test optional. So it used to be an exam that was compulsory. It's a 3-hour exam. It's out of 1,600 marks. There's a reading and comprehension section and a mathematics section, and it's all multiple choice. You can do the test as many times as you want. If you want to look into the SAT, you can go College Board. That's the governing body of the SAT. If you want to look into practice SATs, go Khan Academy. It's a free online resource for you that is owned by the College Board, and they're in partnership with them, and there's a lot of resources there. A good score to get is anywhere above 1250 out of 1600. If you're like a 3.0 student, you should be getting that. If you are a 4.0 student, then above 1400 is good. We got a girl that got 1500 out of 1600. Again, it's test optional. She did it because she was super smart, and she thought, well, I'm going to do this anyway because I've got the ability to score well. She did. She's at a Division One school on a full academic scholarship, meaning all these things here are covered by the academic scholarship. The tennis coach was absolutely yahooing because they don't have to spend any money, and she's on a full ride, which is great. And you can do this as many times as you want. If you do poorly in it, you don't tell anyone. No one knows. Only people know if you tell them, including colleges in America as well. And you can do it every couple of months. But yeah, definitely something to look into. Let's build your pathway. Okay, Joseph, let's go with you. I want you to rank these from 1 to 4 in priority order. What was important to you when you were first going to college?
Say definitely sport priority, soccer. Then
So sport would
cost,
be number one.
yeah, sport number one, sorry. Cost number two, academics number three, and
Yep.
location number four. And that's why I ended up in the middle of nowhere in Ohio for a year and a half.
Well, lucky I didn't use that example in the middle of Ohio then. I use Iowa. Um,
Yeah.
and this is recorded in my other full-time person that works with me, Sammy Tarfadu. She's a former New Zealand Fern. She went to University of Iowa, which is ranked as like the top 15 in the country. So she's going to watch this back and she's going to give me a bit of stick about that. I shouldn't have said that. But that's really cool. Would you change the way you looked at it now after going through this experience?
To be honest, probably not. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm at peace with how it went anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, if I was going to go to college, number one for me would be cost because I just didn't want to. I didn't have the money to spend on a big university. Like a partial scholarship wasn't really a thing for me. Um, my parents had it a bit tough financially, so cost would have been number one for me. Tennis sport would be number three for me because I wanted to be a pro tennis player. Uh, Academics would be really important. Otherwise, my mum would absolutely tear me a new one. She's got a PhD in psychology, so she's very academic, and that's something that I would want to pursue. And I would be like Joseph, location number four. Wouldn't care where I lived as long as those three things are solid. I'm good. But not everyone's like that. Like I mentioned to you guys, Patrick Wall right at the start. His was cost, good scholarship, academics number two, location number three, tennis number four. Didn't care about tennis, was there to play, but to fund his academics and to be in the location for business where he could go and network and do really well. So again, try and tailor this, and this is what we do in our consults. We actually work with you on this and try to figure out what your pathway would be and what it would look like for you without even paying us a cent. Uh, it's a completely free consultation. And then how we can support your journey. So we've helped a lot of athletes go to the US. For us, we've been really fortunate to work with a lot of really good families over the last 10 years. Our track record's good. So we've worked in 15 different countries. I've got 2 more calls after this with some clients in Dubai and in Lebanon with some student athletes, but we're working across the board, but we're predominantly based in Australia and in New Zealand. Our team's really good. Like every single one of our team members are fantastic. This is Will, our recruitment manager. He's currently in Melbourne right now, representing Queensland in lacrosse. He went to the States and played lacrosse. He did it awesome. Natasha went to Auburn as a swimmer All-American. Sammy went to Iowa. Mac and Josh both went to Niagara University. They're playing NPL, just like Joe is doing at the moment. This is Andrew. He played American football in the US. Obviously, you've got the legend here, Joe, and you've heard about his journey. We've got Jack Salt. He's the only New Zealander to ever win a basketball Division One championship. This is Carly. She rowed at Cal Berkeley and then was a rower at SMU, Southern Methodist University, a massive D1 program. Her dad was also the California Berkeley tennis coach for 21 years. This is Tamara. She's full-time. She's went to 2 colleges for track and field on full scholarships. This is Victor. He's based in England. He went to 2 Division One programs for tennis. And this is Pamela, our operations manager. She pretty much just makes sure that we are all held accountable and doing the right thing for you guys. And then we work with a lot of really important people as well, like Brett Pickett, the former CEO of Baseball Australia, Gareth Turnbull, the Melbourne Victory Pathways coordinator, Zorro, he's currently working at the Newcastle Jets right now, but he's a former All-White captain. And then our prodigy in golf, Ryan Fox, this is his coach, Marcus Wheelhouse, and other tennis coaches as well. So we get to work with these people because we've just really tried to do the right thing from the get-go. Like we haven't tried to sign athletes for the sake of signing athletes. We actually turn a lot of clients away. We just want to make sure that we're very honest with people and we're not afraid to have the hard conversations. If there are 2 universities, but there's one better offer here financially than this one, but this one here, there's a lot more like room for growth and a lot more opportunity for the athlete. We debate both options. We don't just get the deal done for the sake of it. And then we work with a lot of clubs and schools all through Australia, including the Premier Invitational, which is the largest academy tournament in Australia. We're the official partners. We recently have not made this public, but we have partnered with a company which Tim Cahill actually co-owns, and we're going to be doing some things in that space, which is very, very exciting going forward. And we've got a lot of athletes. If you want to talk to them, you can. But yeah, this is our why. Like, that's actually Dylan, the guy that I told you that graduated from UC Davis. So he's a bit older now because that was ages ago. And I had a corporate table at the Wellington Tennis Open, and my brother was in the final, so I bought it for my family. Had 2 spare seats, got Dylan to come with it, and a golf coach called Kevin. But all of our athletes, when they come back from college and their families, they come back and say hello, which is awesome. This is Keegan Kelly's dad. He came back from University of Denver watching his boy. So this is us at the Irish pub just up the road. Dave is actually Irish, so he picked it. And he was talking about the facilities. This is my boy Jack after his debut. He's at University of Kentucky right now. That's after his debut for New Zealand in Davis Cup, which was a really cool moment. And this is Haider, his son Nabil Khan's at Georgian Court University, D2 program up in the Northeast, about 2 hours away from New York. And he just came back just to drop into the office to share what it was like visiting his son over there. And yeah, these are some athletes over the years. Ruben Jones over there. This is him in like some tradie gear over here. This is before he went to college. He's now graduated and he's got an internship. He graduated with civil engineering. He's got an internship at Turner's Construction, and a very, very good salary, which is awesome. This is Ronan here in between his time at University of Denver, which was really awesome. Sean Green, the guy that I told you that scored the goal from halfway. We've got a lot of these case studies. Elliot Munford, goalkeeper, Seton Hall University. This is me visiting him in New York when he was playing there, which was a really awesome experience. So that's kind of our why. I love this. I could literally ramble off any client in our library of athletes that we've supported, and I can tell you what their parents are like, what the athletes are like, where they went, what they're doing now. I just get so passionate about it, which is why I'm doing this presentation at 11:50 at night on a Wednesday right now. If you've got any questions or anything and you want to book a consultation with me directly, scan that. I'll add Joe to the calendar and just book a time that works for you. If you want to take some time to think about it, I can send you guys out an email with a bunch of information, and it will have Joe's booking link, and you can book a meeting directly with him. Free consults, we need a rough idea of your academics and just a rough idea of your level. If you've got any video footage, that really helps. If not, just provide Joseph with your coach's number, and we can try and like forecast what the expected outcome is going to be for you before you even get started with us. And then we can talk to you about our services and all that sort of stuff from there. But apart from that, I think I've rambled enough. What do you reckon, man?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Covered about everything.
Yeah, like I said, guys, it's a lot. This is recorded. I will send you guys some like YouTube videos of podcasts we've done with Division One athletes, college coaches, and stuff like that you guys can listen to. But you got a great resource here. You got Joseph here, and so use him. He wears his heart on his sleeve, this guy. So you want to make sure that you can have a conversation with him, and we'll be telling you guys where you would kind of be going. Like, we've done this enough now. Like, just alone on myself, I've secured over 100 million in scholarships for student athletes. So I've done this long enough where we can just identify what pathway would suit you the best based on your preferences. And if it doesn't work for you, well, guess what? You've had a conversation that I didn't get to have. And that's why we do that. Other companies charge for these consultations, which I think is daylight robbery, which we would never do. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. It's been about 50 minutes. Thank you so much for jumping on. We've got Kerry, Razia, Chris, Kathleen, Marco, Gareth, Pras, and Rhiannon. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys staying on here. And yeah, if you need anything, follow us on Instagram, Platform Sports Management. I know it's a long name. When I started it 10 years ago, didn't think it would get to this point, but here we are. So Platform Sports Management. If you got any questions, message on the Instagram. I'm the only one that gets access to it, and I'll respond back to you guys right away. Until then, we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much. And Joseph, I'm going to give you a call offline. Thanks, man.
Cheers.